Why is it that every project manager you meet is always busy, always in calls, always under pressure? But somehow, projects still get delayed, quality still suffers, and everyone still feels confused? Like, what exactly are we doing all day? That's what today's conversation is about. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into something super relatable, especially if you've worked in product, engineering, consulting, or any fast-moving team. And that topic is, why do projects still miss timelines even when we have a million tools, dashboards, trackers, and processes? And to break it down, we have two incredible guests, both co-founders of Stremly, where they're building the future of autonomous work. Let me introduce them. First, Harshit Agarwal. Harshit has led multiple technical teams across research and project execution. He's authored research in synaptic, neurocausal, and conversational AI, and he has a patent under process. He's also a NASCOM Deep Tech Incubator alumnus, a Leet Code Knight with a peak rating of 1905, and he scored 96.5 percentile in JEE, which is honestly terrifyingly good considering the competition. Harshit, welcome.
Haha, thanks. Happy to be here. And yeah, terrifying is accurate.
And second, we have Vaibhav Shukla. Vaibhav is a product manager in the integration and automation team at a financial conglomerate. He has deep experience in operational transformation and management consulting. He's also an author and content creator with 2,800 plus watch hours and a product management consultant who has worked with 100 plus clients. Vaibhav, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Really excited for this. Like, genuinely excited because this is something I see every single day.
Perfect. So today is not about some fancy new tool or one more productivity hack. It's about the deeper issue. Teams are drowning in coordination, and we've normalized it. So let's get into it. All right, Vaibhav, I'll start with you. You've worked with enterprises, transformations, product teams. Why does it feel like project managers are always busy? Like, even when nothing visible is moving, they're still exhausted.
Yeah. So, ah, it's actually crazy because if you look at a project manager's calendar, it's like back to back meetings, status updates, alignment calls, follow up calls, unblocking calls. And the funny part is, when you ask them, what did you actually build today? They didn't build anything. And it's not their fault. They're spending their energy on making sure other people are doing things. And in many companies, that becomes the full time job chasing, checking, nudging, escalating, reminding.
So you're saying the work becomes managing the work?
Exactly. Managing the management. And it looks productive because there's motion, there's activity, but it's not always progress.
Okay, here's the interesting thing. We have Jira, Slack, Teams, Notion, Confluence, Asana, emails, dashboards. Some companies have like 10 tools for the same purpose. So Harshit, technically, shouldn't more tools mean less chaos?
Yeah, you'd think so. But it actually goes the opposite way. More tools often means more surfaces where work can hide. Like the task is in Jira, but the real decision is in a Slack thread, but the context is in a Notion doc, but the update is in email. But the new requirement comes in a random meeting. So engineers aren't just building, they're hunting for information. It's brutal and it's subtle because everyone assumes it's normal, but it's not normal, it's just common.
Vaibhav, I want you to explain something. Why do project managers end up becoming the human glue of the organization?
Because they're the only people forced to see the full picture. Engineers have their sprint tasks, design has their workflow, QA has their test plan, stakeholders have their expectations, but PMs and project managers, they have to connect all of it. So naturally, they become the hub, and that hub becomes the bottleneck. And honestly, the emotional part is PMs start feeling like if I don't follow up, everything collapses. They literally feel responsible for everything.
That sounds like stress on steroids.
It is. It's like constant anxiety. Because if you miss one message, one dependency slips. And then suddenly it's like, boom, delay. So PMs become paranoid in a way. Like, did we confirm this? Did we check that? Did that person respond? And it's exhausting.
Harshit, from the tech side, why does work still get delayed even when the sprint looks clean on paper?
Because the sprint board is like the official reality, but the real reality is messy. Delays happen because of hidden factors, unclear requirements, missing edge cases, unspoken assumptions, dependencies not communicated early, external approvals, environment issues, data quality issues, last minute scope changes. But the biggest killer is context transfer delays. Like one person knows something important, but it takes 2 days for that information to reach the right person. And nobody sees that as a delay, but it is the delay.
So the delay isn't always coding time, it's waiting time.
Exactly. Waiting for clarity, waiting for confirmation, waiting for a response. And that waiting is mostly communication overhead.
Okay, this is the key part. It feels like organizations have accepted something silently, like, this is just how work happens. Vibhav, what is that thing?
It's that communication is now treated as the work, not supporting work, not enabling work, but literally the job. Like we've accepted this belief that project management equals messaging people plus reminding people plus following up. And honestly, that's tragic because project management is supposed to be about planning, execution, risk management, prioritization, delivery, decision making, not being a professional human reminder system.
That line is so accurate. Human reminder system.
Yeah. And it's like, people even joke about it. Hey, I'm just here to follow up. But that joke hides a very serious failure.
Harshit, explain redundant communication like I'm 5. What does it mean in real teams?
Sure. Redundant communication is when the same information has to be repeated again and again in different places to different people just to keep work moving. Example, is the API ready? Any update? Can you confirm ETA? No. Did you check the bug? Can you share the doc? Wait, what was decided in the last meeting? Who owns this? If communication is healthy, those questions happen occasionally. But when it becomes constant, it becomes an invisible tax. And the worst part, each message looks small, but multiply it by 50 people across 10 teams every day, it becomes a massive productivity sink.
So it's like death by 1,000 Slack pings.
Exactly. Death by 1,000 pings. And those pings break deep work, they break focus, they break velocity.
Vibhav, what does this do emotionally to project managers?
It creates this constant feeling of I'm behind. Even when you're working nonstop, you feel behind because you're not producing something tangible. Like, you're just keeping the machine running and it becomes thankless. And the worst thing is, people start thinking, maybe I'm not doing enough, but they are doing too much. It's a system problem.
Harshit, what about engineers?
Engineers get frustrated because they want clarity and autonomy, but they're constantly context switching. And sometimes they feel like I'm spending more time explaining work than doing work. That's demoralizing. And it also creates this passive blame cycle. PM thinks engineers are slow, engineers think PMs are confused, QA thinks nobody respects testing, stakeholders think nobody is aligned. But the truth is, the communication model is broken.
I want to go deeper. Why is this happening specifically in big tech or large enterprises?
Scale. The bigger the company, the more dependencies and the more stakeholders, the more approvals, the more teams, and then communication becomes layered. You need to tell people things in the right way, in the right format, with the right context, in the right channel. So work doesn't flow smoothly anymore. It hops from one person to another to another. And at every hop, there's delay, misunderstanding, and loss of context.
And a technical truth here is software development is already uncertain. You can plan features, but you can't predict everything. And when uncertainty meets heavy communication overhead, it becomes chaos. That's why even with tools, delivery suffers.
All right, if we had to summarize the hidden problem in one line, what is it? Vibhav?
The hidden problem is this: organizations have normalized redundant, inefficient communication as a core part of project management.
Harshit.
And technically, like, the system is wasting human intelligence on coordination instead of execution. Smart people are being used as routers, not builders.
Let's end with this. If someone is listening, maybe a PM, a tech lead, an engineering manager, and they feel like, I'm always busy but nothing is finishing, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, you're not failing. You're stuck inside a broken communication system, and it's not your responsibility to carry everything on your shoulders. This pressure you feel, it's not normal. It's just common.
And I'd say the future of work shouldn't be meetings about meetings. We should have more time for building, thinking, and shipping. Because right now, we're burning talented people out with coordination noise.
That's powerful. So basically, the big point today is projects don't fail only because teams can't work. Projects fail because teams can't coordinate without chaos. And we've accepted that chaos as the job. This was a super important conversation. Harshit, Vaibhav, thank you for joining.
Thank you, man. This was fun.
Thanks. This was great.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode. See you next time.